Part of the problem sounds like that you grew up too soon.
At first, I really didn't know the difference. I was like 6
Corey Feldman has no idea what it's like not to be famous.
years old, hanging out with a bunch of 25-year-olds.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and
He was just 3 years old in this McDonald's commercial.
McDonald's gift certificate.
Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
I didn't want to go off and play Barb.
I literally was famous before I knew my own name.
His roles defined the 80s.
Because I wanted to go out to a club and dance.
So you started drinking at 9?
Still working.
Goonies,
This was my dream, my wish.
Stand By Me,
You call my dad
They're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
me again, and I'll kill you.
License to Drive,
The only difference between you and that greaseball is that he has a license and you don't.
Business.
The revelations are jaw-dropping. From childhood
I can tell you that the number one
films that propelled him into the spotlight for his entire youth.
problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be.
Nobody talks about
It's the big secret.
But being famous so young, he says, caused serious damage to him and his friends.
and it's widespread.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel like you missed out on a normal childhood?
What childhood?
All my problems had seemed, to disappear for that hour.
I don't know what that means.
A lost childhood and a loss of innocence.
That I was out of it.
He blames the adults, not just those looking to profit from charming children, but also some with far more sinister motives.
Got so out of control that no one could do with me. They drove me here.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
In the middle of the night, and they walked me right through those 2 doors.
That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah.
Hollywood may dazzle us with its glamour, but behind the red carpet and flashing cameras lies a dark, unspoken reality. One where child stars are thrown into a world of exploitation, manipulation, and unrelenting pressure. In an explosive conversation, Drew Barrymore and Corey Feldman, 2 former child stars turned advocates, pull back the curtain on an industry that often preys on its youngest and most vulnerable members. Their stories, along with those of other actors, unveil a shocking pattern of abuse that spans generations. Today, we explore their revelations and the urgent call for reform that Hollywood can no longer ignore. Drew Barrymore's story is one of resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. Born into a legendary acting dynasty, she was thrust into the limelight at a young age. But the price of fame came at a steep cost. By the time most kids are learning their multiplication tables, Barrymore was navigating a world of nightclubs, drugs, and alcohol. Her mother, more interested in fame than her daughter's well-being, introduced her to the notorious Studio 54 when she was just 9 years old. It was a place of debauchery, far removed from anything a child should experience. By the time she was 13, Barrymore had been in rehab twice, an experience that should have been a wake-up call to those around her. Instead, Hollywood turned its back, branding her as unmanageable and effectively blacklisting her. At 14, she made a bold move, legally emancipating herself from her mother in a desperate bid to regain control of her life. While Barrymore fought to reclaim her autonomy, Corey Feldman was facing his own nightmare. Starting his acting career at the tender age of 3, Feldman grew up surrounded by the glitz of Hollywood and the predators lurking within it. He's been vocal about the systemic he and his late friend Corey Haim endured. In interviews and memoirs, Feldman has described a big secret in Hollywood: powerful figures exploiting child actors. These aren't isolated incidents, he insists, but a widespread and ongoing issue. Feldman's courage in naming names has shed light on how the entertainment industry protects its abusers, enabling them to continue their predatory behavior unchecked. Tragically, Barrymore and Feldman's experiences are not unique. Hollywood's history is littered with stories of child stars who were overworked, manipulated, or outright exploited. Amanda Bynes, a once beloved star of Nickelodeon and film, spiraled into mental health struggles after years of being controlled and overburdened. Jeanette McCurdy, another Nickelodeon alum, detailed in her memoir "I'm Glad My Mom Died" how she faced from a parent and a powerful figure in the entertainment industry. Ricky Garcia, a former Disney Channel actor, revealed that his manager began him at just 12 years old. A harrowing account that underscores the dangers young performers face. Even those who manage to avoid direct have spoken out about the unsettling culture surrounding child actors. Macaulay Culkin, the star of Home Alone, and Elijah Wood, known for his role in The Lord of the Rings, have both discussed inappropriate advances and the pervasive risks of being young in Hollywood. While some conspiracy theories about Culkin have been debunked, his testimony highlights the vulnerabilities of child stars in an environment where boundaries are often blurred or outright ignored. These stories don't just echo in modern Hollywood, they're rooted in its very foundation. Historical accounts reveal that exploitation has been a part of Hollywood's fabric since its inception. Judy Garland, beloved for her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, endured horrific at the hands of studio mogul Louis B. Mayer. He allegedly hurt and kept her on a cocktail of drugs to maintain her grueling schedule. Marilyn Monroe, another icon, was passed among powerful men, her stardom used as leverage against her. During the studio system era, influential executives routinely coerced young actresses, wielding their power with impunity. This culture of exploitation extends beyond on-set behavior. The media has played a significant role in amplifying the challenges faced by young stars. Interviews that should have celebrated their talent instead became invasions of privacy. Barbara Walters' infamous interview with a 15-year-old Brooke Shields serves as a chilling example. Walters subjected the teenager to invasive questions about her sexuality, reducing her to tears and demonstrating how the media often victimized child stars under the guise of journalism. Moments like these reveal an industry and a culture that prioritized ratings and profits over the well-being of its subjects. In many cases, the victims of Hollywood's darker side have been isolated, silenced, or publicly shamed. While Drew Barrymore and Corey Feldman have found the strength to speak out, countless others have been unable to tell their stories, either out of fear or because their voices have been overshadowed by the power and influence of their abusers. The repercussions for the victims are devastating. Many have grappled with addiction, mental health issues, and the long-lasting trauma of their experiences. Some, like Corey Haim, were unable to escape the shadow of their past, their lives tragically cut short. Despite the gravity of the issue, the industry has been slow to change. Many perpetrators remain active in Hollywood, protected by a combination of wealth, legal power, and a culture of silence. Barrymore and Feldman's testimonies serve as a rallying cry for the entertainment world to confront its past and create a safer environment for future generations. They call for stricter protections for child actors, more transparency in reporting abuse, and a shift in cultural attitudes that no longer allows predators to thrive in the shadows. As public awareness grows, thanks in part to brave individuals sharing their stories, there is hope for a brighter future. Social media has become a powerful tool for accountability, allowing survivors to bypass traditional media gatekeepers and connect directly with audiences. Movements like #MeToo and Time's Up have amplified these voices, forcing the industry to reckon with its deep-seated issues. The stories of child stars are not just cautionary tales, they are a call to arms. Hollywood must reckon with its dark past and take meaningful steps to ensure that its future is brighter and safer for the next generation. Because while the spotlight may shine brightly, it should never come at the cost of a child's safety or well-being.